the camera's rolling, your heart pounds. It's thrilling to me.
Okay, let's talk about your Vikings this year. Come out hot, some young talent. Talk about you guys. You finished third in the NFC North. Talented young playmakers on the roster. Justin Jefferson, I want to talk about him. He's a graduate of the show, as we call him. Get off to this, I said hot start earlier, but it's more of a difficult start because of the way COVID, affected the offseason. Talk about how hard that was to not have those young guys in a traditional offseason environment once you draft them, and the chemistry and how difficult it was to establish. Because there were flashes during the season where you're like, wow, how are you going to stop these guys? When Dalvin Cook's balling, Rudolph's crushing it like normal, and then you add some pieces like Justin Jefferson. Give me your assessment of the season and where you think you guys are headed.
Yeah, I mean, Justin was a great draft pick for us. I guess what you lose out on is the preseason games and just the more time on task to build that initial rapport so that week 1 we were able to use him the way we were using him week 10, 12, 15. But it was really week 3 that we said, okay, you're going to be our guy at X every down. Let's go. And if you're too young for the moment, we're going to work through that because we want to get you out there and start getting you chances to make plays. And we never looked back after that.
Was there a conversation that you had with him, with Zimmer, with somebody, Kubiak, somebody that was just like, hey, this is the time? Was it to Justin or to you, or hey, you let him know, you relay the info? How did that work out?
Justin had played mostly the slot only at LSU his final year. And as a result, we expected to use him in the slot initially as a rookie simply because that's what he had done in the past. We thought that was how he was kind of wired to play, and also to not overload his plate in year 1, especially with the reduced offseason as we talked about. So the plan was to kind of keep him in the slot. That's how we practiced him. And the first 2 weeks, week 1, we did some good stuff on offense, moved the ball, didn't really feel a need to change anything up. Week 2, we really struggled. We had a hard time moving the football, and Justin made some big plays for us in the game from the slot. And coming out of that game, we just felt like, we need to get him more touches. We're not in 11 personnel all game long, so let's, put him in there more when we have a fullback in the game and 2 tight ends. This will give him more chances. So moved him to X week 3, and he made plays right away for us, scored a big touchdown in that game and never looked back. But I think that really was between week 2 and week 3 when we had struggled on offense, just felt like it was time, and it was clearly the right move. And, he'll be playing X now hopefully for a long time.
No doubt. He was special to watch. Favorite parts of the season, whether it was Dalvin, Rudolph, Jefferson, when you felt like, man, that's it. We got to bottle this moment or this stretch of games where you just felt like, dang, we're clicking because it's there. And for people who watch and say, 7-9, third in the division, well, that's so close. We're talking a field goal here, an injury there, one change of possession, one penalty that changes up some of these games, gives you a little momentum, and all of a sudden you're a 10-win team, right? That's how close it is. Give me your, favorite part of the season where you guys felt you were clicking, and then what are we looking forward to with the Vikings next year?
Well, we started 1-5, and we lost some really close games to some good teams, so we knew we probably had a better team than our record. We went on our bye week in late October and came back from that bye week and won at Green Bay. And we were able to kind of claw our way back through November and early December to get back to 500. Yeah. And I think that was a stretch that really, showed the improvement we were making as a team, was that stretch in November and early December. And then, we didn't really close the door. We had a great chance at the end of December to win a stretch of games and kind of close the door and get to the playoffs. And we weren't able to do it. But, I think with the year Dalvin had, if not for missing the last game due to his dad passing away and having to miss that game, he likely goes over 2,000 all-purpose yards for the season. That's really special. Not many guys in the NFL are doing 2,000 yards from scrimmage in a season. And he really did it. The 100 yards that he had, he still missed 2 games. So very impressive. Justin, as a rookie, to do what he did was special. Adam Thielen had 14 touchdowns. So on offense, there were a lot of positives. And it goes back to our coaches and the game plans they put together, the way they coached us, the way our guys worked. We just weren't able to find those inches we needed to in some of those 9 losses that, like you said, if you turn 2 of those games the other way, you're in the playoffs, and
No doubt.
and that's all you need is that chance to get in.
100%. Well, I like that perspective. I did think that was an impressive stretch, like you mentioned, to get back to 500. And then next year, now that you've been on the show, we're big fans. So we got to get you guys,
That's right.
we got to get a little
That's
playoff
right.
push in there, get you back in the playoffs.